Hi students, uh, good afternoon everyone. So, today we will see again the fortified wines. We are in the fortified wines. Last few classes, uh, we are studying about fortified wines. Like we started with Madeira, sherry, and Marsala. First, we studied about sherry. Sherry, we all know it's come from Spain, and then we studied about Marsala. Marsala from Italy, from the city of Marsala. And yesterday we studied about Madeira. Madeira is from the Madeira Islands of Portuguese land. So these are the three fortified wines we have studied yesterday. Today we will study about port and one more. If we have enough time, then we'll finish the fortified wine, all the fortified wines. So uh, basically we have a five fortified wines we are about to study. So we have completed three fortified wines, and we have completed sherry, and we have completed Marsala, and we completed about um, Madeira. So before I go into port, there are few questions being asked, okay, by the students, second years. Uh, we need to understand first classification of alcoholic beverages. Very simple, which I taught you in the first class, like fermented and distilled, and fermented, distilled, and flavored. There are three categories of alcoholic beverages. We can classify the alcoholic beverages into three categories. One is fermented, the second one is fermented and distilled, the third one is fermented, distilled, and flavored. When you talk about fermented, it's just only fermented. So wines and beers comes under the fermented categories. You cannot call wines and beers as spirit. Spirit means which is distillation, which comes under the distillation. That is second category. So you cannot call wines and beers or distilled beverages. These beverages are undistilled. Wines and beers are only fermented. There is no distillation process. For example, I have clarified this doubt in the classroom. If you take a beer is fermented beverage but not distilled. But what happens if you distill the beer? Definitely you'll get the whiskey, any spirit. Same goes to wine. Wine is undistilled beverage. It's only fermented beverage. But if you distill the wine again, you will not get wine, you will get brandy. So anything distilled, it comes under spirits. So wines and beers, you cannot call it as a spirit. A spirit means which should contains at least minimum 40 percentage alcohol by volume. So definitely, I will take another class one day. One fresh class we will study about distillation process, and we'll study about how the alcohol percentage has been calculated. Because whatever we are getting alcohol from the fermentation, this is ethyl alcohol. So how the ethanol will be calculated, how the alcohol by volume being measured, we will study in a separate class. For example, if you take a 750 ml of whiskey, it it shows is a 40 percentage alcohol by volume. So the alcohol by volume will be calculated per 100 ml. Per 100 ml, how many milliliters of alcohol, ethanol is present? So out of 750 ml, the alcohol by volume ABV says 40 percentage. It's the 40 percentage of the 750 ml is pure ethanol. So we will study in one more fresh class about the calculating the alcohol percentages. How there are very different methods of alcohol percentage calculation is there. One is American proof system, another one is French Gay-Lussac system, and another one is Canadian proof system. There are different proof system is there, and we will study in the maybe next week or maybe in the coming upcoming classes. Once we finish these wines, and we will study that spirits and how the alcohol percentage been calculated. So first, I want to make you clear, spirits are distilled. Very simple. Once the alcohol percentages will be distilled, then you will get a spirit. From the spirit, we are making liquors. For example, whiskey, brandy, gin, rum, vodka, tequila, etc., etc., etc. So these all the liquors made by the spirits. So how we get the spirits? Once the distillation is done, then we are getting the spirits. I already discussed this. We already discussed. The distillation means, for example, if you ask what is distillation, the distillation means any alcohol, any separating the pure alcohol, separating the pure alcohol from the any liquid which contains alcohol. That is called distillation. For example, if the whiskey is having 40 percentage alcohol by volume of 750 ml, from that 750 ml, when we separate that 45 percentage, that is called distillation. So distillation means separating the pure alcohol, the ethyl alcohol, separating the ethanol from the any liquid which contains alcohol. You can distill beer also, you can distill wine also, you can distill any alcohol, any alcoholic beverages. You cannot distill any liquid which doesn't have alcohol. That is very important. One can distill only you can distill any liquid which contains alcohol. So beer we have alcohol, and wines we have alcohol, so easily you can distill. So you need to very clearly you need to understand distillation. So Portugal is country is a European